Here we go. This is actually my account, but I'm going to screenshot it on the barrel account, which I have open in my other browser, because that way it doesn't show who I voted for. So it's probably better to take a screenshot of that. But we do have oh, I see the votes coming in. It's your last chance, guys. Last chance. Literally, we said it's going to close at 3, and we're at that time now. So I'll just give you guys a moment to get your votes in, those last minute votes. But it looks like we've pretty much got 4 clear winners here. I doubt we're going to have one of them catch up now. So, yeah, should we take a screenshot and confirm these guys are in the story now? But I'm going to just say, the ones that didn't get through, they will still make an appearance at some point. They're just probably not going to be as major. They'll probably not be as key in the story. But I feel like they're still awesome and creative enough to introduce at some point if we meet some more barrels at some point in the game. Okay, oh, I see we're getting some more votes. Go on, yeah, you've got a minute left, guys. Hi, Doc. Hi, Virtual. How you doing? It's good to see you all. Hope you're having a good week, guys. Thanks for being here. Miss the rose scratching it part. Oh, that's what Fantasia wanted to see. Oh, really, Virtual? That's awesome. Congrats. GG. I voted for everything. Yay. And yeah, you can vote for everything if you like all of them. You can totally vote for everything if you'd like to. Drunk Uncle joined second bottom. I know, Doc, it's devastating, isn't it? There's some really good ones there that didn't get through, but we have to put a limit on it because we'd have too many characters in a single flashback. But he will make an appearance. The ones that don't get through will still be in the game at some point. I'm determined to have them be in there at some point for sure. So, and to be honest, it probably works best this way because I was thinking about the ones that have alcohol in them, the uncle and the auntie, and it probably doesn't fit for this plot of the flashback because the barrels are being smuggled and the people kind of want to put illegal stuff inside the barrels, and if ones are already filled with alcohol they wouldn't be able to do that with those ones, but they will play a part. Might have a little side quest with these drunk barrels in the future in a village in the game one day. I still want to have a barrel village one day. I love the idea of a village full of barrels. That's more room for you. Yeah, so just so you know, if you liked any of the ones that didn't get through, don't be too sad because we will have them in the game. I want that because I love them too. So the ones that have won, the 4 that have got through, will be the ones that we see first, and the ones that are part of Carol's story arc. So they're the major barrels, but we will see the others as well. Is there a barrel sprite in MV on a tile set? There is a sprite, yeah, we used it for Carol. We just added a little face on it. So that's what we did to make Carol. We found a barrel sprite and added a little face on it. So we'll be doing that with the other barrels today. And also their face sets as well. We're going to try and think of some, make them look cool and awesome and design them. A barrel village, yay. Okay, so I think we finally gotta close this poll now, everybody. So thank you for everybody who got your last minute votes in. I wanted to make sure that you guys got a chance to do that. So I didn't wanna close it too early. So print screen. So we're gonna look at the results properly now that we've print screened it, and we'll chat about which ones have got through and what they could look like. Okay, so it's going to get deleted now. I've took a screenshot, and what I'll be doing is putting that screenshot on our Trello page. I'll give you guys a little peek at our Trello page so you can see. But we're going to put our major poll results on here. We've done it for probably most of the polls. The only polls I probably wouldn't put up on here are very small ones that aren't really significant. But anything that's like a cool poll that we've done and we want to keep record of the results, they'll be put on here. And we did it for our first boss, and I'll do exactly the same after stream with the barrel poll results, so we've got that evidence of what the results were, and we can keep it. And we also have Glaceon now. Glaceon has recently filled in a character sheet, so he's now on our list of characters to do. Fantasia is the next one, and then it's Dava, then it's Master Hamilton. White One, I have to message White One and ask him if it's okay to proceed with his character, because he seemed quite adamant that he wants to send me some extra info before I do his, so I'll have to double check. So I will gradually be working on those character sheets before the Christmas hauls, and I'm excited to do them. You will never be forgotten, Paul. Carol's face is already seducing me this. Oh my gosh, Storm Eagle, you've got a crush on Carol the Barrel? That's amazing. Does this mean you'll be choosing Carol as your romance option, Storm Eagle? We are doing that all for All Faces for the Barrel today. Best words to join stream. Hello, hi Juice, how are you doing today? It's so good to see you. Nice, I'm going to use a barrel to store my fish in my game. Oh, awesome. I think everybody should have a barrel in their game, even if it hasn't got a face. So while my internet was off, I was working on my final art exam project, and we were supposed to present sketches, and my sketch was, quote, idea is good and it is one of the best one, but the presentation is brutal. Oh really? Was that what they said? How dare they? Did you say I can romance her? Are you shocked, Storm? Did you not realise that we intend to put a romance thing in Raindrop Chronicles? We're gonna have that. We're gonna have a romance feature in the game. And it's pretty much a cert that Carol will be one of those romanceable characters, because she flirts with the hero. She's good, even though she does it in a really weird way. So we still need to do a dialogue and cutscene for Carol that has actually been planned for months, but I still haven't officially put it in the game yet. So I think on Thursday's stream I'll do the fly for that, and we can polish that dialogue together, and then I can add it into the game. And tomorrow I want to work on the skills for these fruit guys, so I kind of want to change things up a bit. Even though we might not finish the assets for the barrels today, we can always return to them next week, but I'll work on them a little bit off stream as well, probably. Romance the barrel. I mean, the heroes inside with the games. That's exactly Juice. But Carol won't be the only romanceable option. Not every NPC will be romanceable, or every playable character, obviously, because it would be very difficult to manage otherwise. But we will, at some point when we introduce the feature, we will have probably a vote on which characters people would desire to romance, and the ones that seem to be the most popular will be the ones that we end up adding the feature for. The romancing part of the game probably won't be introduced until episode 2, potentially, because that's when Kindle Trash's character will probably be in the game, maybe, and she's going to be the one that unlocks the romance system. So because because it fits her character perfectly for her to be the one to unlock it, because she's a brothel owner. Hi Liquid, how are you doing? It's good to see you. And thanks to True Baldy for gifting me a sub. I know, True Baldy is so generous. It was masks, and behind them there was melting fish faces. I want to see it, Storm Eagle. Art can be brutal, so don't think they mean negative. I've been to modern art gallery in Paris and they get to run out to be sick at one point. Yeah, it's a very subjective thing and a difficult thing for, you know, like, I don't like criticism on people's work. I think people should try and appreciate it and see the good in it at least. But I'm just like that. I don't like negativity at all. Thank you for the follow, Six. I appreciate it. And hi Van, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Good morning to you too. How are things going? The inside you, really? I never was like fond of art class at school, but I did really like it at college. It felt more suited to me there. I think it's because my teacher at college was far nicer to me than my one at school. He actually like gave me a lot of like compliments for what I did, but the one at school, nah. Back from vacation, wish I was still on vacation. Oh, awesome. Tell us about it, Van. How did it go? Hope all is going well here too. Yeah, so we've just had a poll, guys. We've deleted it now. So unfortunately, if you've just popped in stream and you missed yesterday, the votes have already been done. They closed at 3. So sometimes the poll, you might not get a chance to vote, but we've got the votes in and we're going to look at those results together today. So I have got a screenshot, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to just quickly save this screenshot so we don't lose it, because that would be gutting if we did. And I'm going to open Paint so you can all see the results with me. So, here is our final results, and only 4 go through. But like I said, we'll have the other battles be in the story at some point, so don't be sad. That will be there. But for now, we'll only have these 4. Hunting Swan, how are you doing? I'm Master Emerald. It's good to see you all. How's everyone doing? Is everyone having a good day? And hi, Elite. Good morning, Elite. We need to kind of do a sort of walking animation for Carol the Barrel at some point as well. Even if it's just really simple. Even if she just like... She doesn't need legs. I honestly think she doesn't need legs. But she just needs to kind of at least like waddle along, I guess. Because there will be points, cutscenes in the game where she'll have to do a bit of walking. And we'll have to work on some of those cutscenes soon, because we have a few to do for Carol. She could hop, yeah, that's a cool idea. And honestly, if anybody knows any characters that have a really sort of charming walking animation to them that without legs, then I'd love to use them as a reference or something. So. But that sounds like ideal. She could like hop. She could hop for sure. And I definitely need to see some kind of reference, because I'm not really an animator. I can put something together if I have some good references, perhaps. Put her wheels off, Carol. Maybe she'll be put on a sort of cart one day. Well, she's used to that. She's always on carts being transported. Poor Carol. Used and abused to carry goods. How dare they? She deserves better. Hi Kermit, how's it going? It's good to see you. So, look who's won, everybody. I'm going to just put a circle around our winners. So, the one that polled the most votes, we'll use green, I'd say. The one that got the most votes is the grandma. He shocked everybody. She was really popular. Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. The one that got the most votes was the sister. I don't know why I thought the grandma did. Woody's even got the same as the grandma, so that's not true at all that she's got the most votes. Epic fail, Rose. Epic fail. So the one with the most votes is Carol's sister, Meryl the Barrel. She's a flirty barrel who is passionately in love with a bad boy oil drum. How cool is that? Come on guys, that's really cool. Volume is on now. Yay! Welcome, Elite. I hope you're having a wonderful day. You guys are talking about toilets, or loos as us British people call them. Loo. It's a weird word for a toilet. Hi Six, how you doing? It is 9:13 where you are. Streams go while I go to sleep. By the way, I started learning Python only recently. Advise me for beginner programs. Good luck to you. Awesome, good luck. I mean, I'm not a coder. I'm just a nerd that likes world building and telling stories. But I'm learning as I go as well. Although RPG Maker's really cool because it's very kind to beginner programmers, and there's a lot of already existing scripts use, so we're good. I wrote my first bit of code the other week and made it work. It was related to the battle system UI, and I was very proud of myself. Are all the members of our family going to be barrels? Well, they are, but look, Woody is a box. But Woody isn't a relative, so we've all got barrels here. Let's circle the winners just so we can know who won. So these guys are our winners, and they happen to be some of the barrels I like best, so I'm happy about that. Not that I didn't like these guys. I was really fond of Daryl, the clumsy barrel, but to be honest, it's probably a bit of a plot hole that he's in this part of the story anyway, because they would close his lid if he was having smuggled items, so he wouldn't be allowed to be clumsy. But I still love the character, and I would love to introduce him later on in the game, perhaps when we get to the Barrel Village. Same with the others. Same with the others for sure. Lurk time, got a job application to work on. Good luck, Master Emerald. Are we allowed to know what job it is, or is it a secret? Yeah, best of luck. You can do it. Who wouldn't employ Master Emerald? Right, so I love her. I love her more. And don't forget as well, Carol's son is in it as well. He was automatically a character because he's part of the story. The hashtag main story in the Discord will kind of give you an idea of what it involves and what it's all about, but it's very like vague at the moment. We'll find out more when we do the actual flashback. So Hank was my favourite, and he got through. He only just about got through though, because he had the least votes out of all the winners. But I love Hank. He's the sad disabled barrel with a broken plank and a hole, which is really kind of interesting if they are being smuggled, because maybe if he's got a hole, he could be the one that blows the cover, unless the cover is hole up for him. That might make him happy, because he'd have his hole covered up. And then we've got Alvira, the grandma of Carol, who is a normal barrel who insists she's an antique barrel. That sounds like she could... And to be honest, people like the idea of Beryl the prude, because she would have had some really interesting conversations with Meryl, who's in love with the oil drum, because Meryl would have hated the oil drum. She would have hated. But I suppose Alvira could potentially bring up the oil drum and be a little bit of a prude as well. That could fit in her character too. I think so anyway. So writing things, I've been throwing together a portfolio. Awesome. Used to be an editor. Elite's really good with writing. He's helped with the dialogue in Raindrop Chronicles so far. Yes, that could definitely work for sure. And I'm excited because we're going to actually today, we're going to try and design these guys and decide what they look like. Because some of you might know that Carol was actually one of the assets I designed myself. I'm going to get graphic scale up now so we can see. I want to show you all how I made her. The face was kind of put together with features from the generator though, because I wanted to make sure she was as consistent as possible with the whole style of how the other games characters look. I wanted to look part of the world, so I like made sure that she was lined up properly and kind of does fit, because if she had a completely different face it would look weird. And I think her eyes are one of the generator eyes. The eyebrows aren't. No, you don't get eyebrows like that in the generator. And the nose I did myself, and I think the mouth as well. But we did have a reference image to work from with Carol. We had a really funny, cool reference image, and I kind of tried to get that. I don't know where that's gone. It was like a heart-shaped thing with a face on it. It was really funny, and it looks just like Carol. I love her cheeks. So I'm just going to hide these because we don't need them. I only had these there as a sort of guide to make sure the face features lined up. I've put the squares there because that way we'll easily know where they have to go. And so at first we won't do the face, we'll just do the outline of the barrel, because some of the barrels might look different to each other. They might vary slightly in colour, and their like metal edge might be a different colour as well. So we'll have to decide the characters what colour would suit them and things like that today. And Woody, of course, is a box. He's not even a barrel, so we'll have to design a box for him. We'll have to do his box. This is board Carol now. So there's quite a few layers to Carol. It's heartbreaking seeing Carol like this when she's just an outline. But we'll just do the similar sort of thing when we do the box. We'll like start with the outline, then do the fill, and then just gradually do. Because I want the box to still look like he's part of the world too and fits in with the whole art style. I don't want anything to like look out of place. So we'll do the faces at the end. We'll get the barrels designs sorted first and the box, and then we'll do the face after. And we've got Carol's baby as well, and I assume that barrel will be smaller, so we'll have to do a small barrel too for the son. Maybe it's a smuggling flashback that made Hank disabled. Oh, that's interesting as well, Fox. Maybe Hank didn't have a hole in him at first. Maybe there was an accident in this flashback that made the hole happen. That's something to consider too. Because, with the dodgy faction of people that are involved in this, they'd be in a bit of a rush, wouldn't they, to make sure they didn't get caught, and they could like be very careless with the barrels perhaps, and maybe one of the smugglers dropped Hank and the poor barrel got a hole in him. Who thinks that could be good? Feel free to say if you think that could be an approach we go for. Because she is delusions of grandeur, so a rusty old drum wouldn't please her. Yeah, because she's a bit of a snob, isn't she, Elvira? If she insists she's an antique barrel, she's going to expect the best for her grandkids as well. She's going to be a bit of a materialistic kind of barrel. Especially if he's married to the barrel. Yeah, a rusty old metal oil drum wouldn't please her at all. For sure. And he's a bad boy as well. It was talked about, this oil drum was talked about yesterday. Like, he could just be brought up in dialogue now and again. When the scenes with Carol's sister and stuff, but I wouldn't rule out the oil drum ending up in the game at some location or another, because that would be funny if we have him. But it just, for now, we just like play with the idea. But if there's ever an appropriate time to introduce the oil drum, we're in an ideal location, maybe that can happen. Graphics making, this is exciting. The deconstruction of Carol, yay! More barrel time. I'm excited. Hi Rex, how are you doing? I know I said careless. I thought of you when I said it. Lost a plank in the war. Some soldier pulled a plank off to shore up defences. Yeah, see guys, we're gonna flesh them out more. Like when we put together the flashback, we'll probably have even more ideas for their character and things that could occur and things that could be said in the flashback. But I do think that's interesting what Fox mentioned about that, him getting the hole from this flashback. But maybe the broken plank was there before. Maybe that was something that happened in the past with Hank. But definitely I'm definitely up for hearing ideas. Guessing Carol the Barrel is not a user submitted character? Nope. Carol the Barrel is a non-community NPC. She was actually, the idea of Carol the Barrel's really weird how it got decided, because we were talking about the start of the game. I put up a poll. Or I don't actually know if I did a poll. We might have done it on a website. I know we didn't do it on the Discord. But I asked the question to the community what the hero would be doing at the start of the game. That was the question. Like what is the very first scene with the hero in? And the one that won the poll was that the hero's a stowaway in a barrel. But the way that it was written made it sound like the barrel was a living being, because there was a typo in the sentence. And we ended up being like, yeah, let's have an actual talking barrel. And it just escalated from there. We just ended up with obsessed with Carol the Barrel from that point on. So it was just pure luck that we ended up with this character. And of course, like, we do have the community based characters, and they're kind of going to obviously be the key characters in the game because they're you guys, but we will have like other NPCs like Carol the Barrel that we create ourselves just by pure chance or on purpose. There'll be tons of cast in this game, so okay, so right, what we're gonna do is, just so we remember who got through, I'm probably gonna just write some text with the character's name and their description on their little square, just so we remember. And obviously we'll remove that after. We'll just put it on another layer, I'd say. So, because I've already forgot who the ones are that got through. So, should we do them in who got the highest votes order? I think that is probably a good way to do it in vote order. We've still got Juicy's character sheet text here. So Meryl, Carol's sister, can go there. We'll chat about Meryl and how she can look different to Carol, because I feel like it's important to make sure that she does look different to Carol, so she stands out as a character and has her own distinctive features. With Carol, it's definitely the eyebrows and the cheeks and that bright red lippy, isn't it, that make her who she is. Will Meryl be the same colour as Carol, or will she be darker or lighter in complexion? That's something to consider as well. Carol has black metal. What colour will Meryl's be? We'll think about what suits her best as a character. She's flirty, and Carol's a lot more serious. Carol's a Sundayer. She's maybe she could be like lighter in colour with a rim that's probably brighter than Carol's, I'm thinking, but I'm intrigued to see what you guys might think. And facial features as well. She's flirty, so I'd say her eyes could be very seductive, maybe. I know that Stormy Eagle got seduced by Carol though, but Meryl's going to be even more seductive. So, but Meryl Meryl might not be romanceable though, but we don't know at this point because we don't know how key Meryl's going to be in the story or if the hero's ever going to meet her. They're like the motivation of Raindrop Chronicles, these guys are, because Carol's on a quest to find them. And whether we meet them or not, you know, it'll probably be much later in the game, but there will probably be flashbacks along the way during the journey, maybe. If the first flashback is a hit and people enjoy it, then I don't see why we won't have more. Pink with a bow. Oh my goodness, guys. I'm going to make notes of everything you say very shortly. I'm going to just get these descriptions. I'm going to get these descriptions written up for each of them, and then I'll get my notepad up and make some notes. So feel free to still say. I'll be scrolling back up in chat anyway if I do miss anything. And the next one that got the highest votes was, well, Woody and the grandma drew. So we'll do the grandma first. So Carol's grandma. But yeah, I believe that Elvira's going to take the place of the prude racist mother, Beryl, in the way that she'll be the one who's a bit prude over Meryl being in love with this oil drum bad boy. They'll probably have a little dialogue exchange in the flashback where they refer to this oil drum who insists she's an antique barrel. For some reason I see the bad boy oil drum as a James Dean-esque with a hot relay elite. I need a reference of this. I know who James Dean is, of course. But Hogan Aviat, I don't know what that is. But that sounds amazing, and I'm for sure. I'd love to see a reference image, and of course when we do the design of these characters, because we'll be working on their faces after we've done their base, it'll be super cool if you guys do have any reference images at all for what could suit them. Sorry, distraction. Because we got that with Carol the Barrel. We had a reference image for her, and she probably wouldn't have looked as awesome as she does now if it wasn't for the reference image. Probably. We had something to base her on. Hog is another word for Mozart. Oh right, is that an American thing, or is it just something I should know but don't? But we can give him an actual hog to ride. A cute piggy wearing sunglasses. Who knows? Maybe there'll be an NPC in the future that's a motorcyclist, and the bad boy oil drum can be his companion on the back of the motorcycle with him. But if we want to be even more wild, maybe the oil drum just rides the motorcycle. You know, that would fit with the world we're building. Cute piggy wearing sunglasses. Oh really? I so want to see a picture. Might be nice to have a family scene with the top 4 barrels later if we have graphics for all. Well yeah, I mean in a way this flashback is a family scene, and obviously stuff will go down because we know that there's going to be something that happens clearly for them to go missing, but before that goes down there will be a conversation between all of them happening, just to build a bit of attachment to these characters, so we start to care about them as the player. So the next one was Woody. Woody is the only one that isn't related to them. He's not a barrel. So that is why he's not a relative, because he's not a barrel. He's a box. But he's very insecure. He's a cardboard box, not a wooden box. And he makes everybody call him Woody because of his insecurity. And I like this character. I'm glad to see he was quite popular in the poll, because I think he's is an interesting one. And he's going to stand out because he's a box. So he's clearly going to stand out apart from the rest because he's not a barrel. And that makes him cool as well. And then our last one, our final one that won, was Hank, my favourite. And I'm so glad he got through because it was a close call for Hank. He was the one with the least votes out the top 4. But it seemed that he was light enough. It was close between him and the brother Daryl at one point. Daryl was the clumsy barrel whose filling comes out. In a way, Hank is very similar to Daryl anyway, because he has a hole. So he could work as a clumsy barrel just because he's got a hole and a broken plank. So, you know, the plot device we'd have had for Daryl with him dropping stuff and things falling out of him, it'll totally work for Hank as well. I see Meryl as a sort of goth, a rock chick, rebel vibe. Elvira's a bit of a Sunday churchgoer style, always wants to look her best, very much refuses to be seen with anything less. Woody is a bit of a shy guy, trying to not stand out. Look to him. Awesome, guys. I'm gonna definitely copy and paste your ideas, your visions, because we're gonna take these into account when we do the character design. For sure. The main thing with Meryl overall is I want her to definitely look different to her sister Carol. The last thing we want is them looking too similar and then we get confused by them. She has to be very distinctive, Meryl does. And I guess it's thinking how they'll be different in personality too, because Carol definitely has that angry Sundayer weird kind of flirty thing going on, but Meryl has to kind of be different somehow to Carol. Maybe she's not, because Carol's very sassy, she's feisty, and Meryl I think maybe should have a different personality to that, just so we don't have two barrels that are the same, because I love how unique Carol is, you know. It makes her stand out, makes her interesting, that she's a feisty, sassy barrel. Hank, it depends. Before his disability, I see him as someone proud of a day's work, always saying how he was proud of when he did things like carry cannonballs in the war, but after his disability, some who is consumed with his depression lost his way and identity. Oh, bless him. And I know, Fox, that you mentioned that Hank would be great as someone later in the game to have a side quest for the custom hero. No, there's no need why that could still happen, like even though he's in the flashback and he's missing at the moment in the story. There's a good chance that Hank will be found at some point as long as he doesn't get killed off. So, you know, that could still happen. A sad disabled barrel with a broken plank and hole. Right, so, and then we got one more character. We got Carol's little baby boy. And we don't know much about Carol's son yet because we haven't really talked about him. We don't even know his name. So I'm totally, if you guys have suggestions for the name for Carol's son, something, I'm not even sure like what Carol's son's personality is going to be like, but I think we want him to be adorable. I think having a really cute barrel, like a very traditionally cute barrel, like when you think of your favourite Pokemon, for example, it's usually one that's really super cute, isn't it? And I think Carol's son should be similar, like have that cuteness about him. Because none of these fit the cute. I mean, Hank is cute, but in a different way, like an old man kind of cute. And Woody, I suppose Woody's got a bit of cuteness to him, but I think Carol's son probably should be the most adorable, just because he's small. He's the small barrel. And so we'll just put Carol's son for now, but I'm going to put in brackets. We need a name. So then, yeah, we need a description for him too. But yeah, feel free to suggest ideas, chat. And then that's it. That's our cast. So 6 barrels, including Carol. Well, Wood not a barrel. It's so wrong, but now I have the image of the player coming across a barrel that's tried to hang himself. Despite barrels can't die. That turns out to be Hank swinging stuck, saying, God, I can't even hang myself properly. I'm really useless. Oh my gosh, we're bringing in the dark stuff, Fox. But, you know, I'm totally for doing something dark like that. If we, because we'll make decisions by polls, and I'm going to copy and paste everything you say, and when the time comes that we start building story, I'm going to look at everything that's been said, and then add it to polls and stuff, and, you know, things like this could happen. Raindrop Chronicles is going to be a combination of wacky comedy and dark themes, I'm sure. Carol's son is a cookie jar, and then later on finds out he was adopted. Oh no, she's got to be she's Carol. He's Carol's son though, Rex. No, but he can't be adopted. Like that idea, him being a cookie jar. Well, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out, but the thing is, it's going to make him a pointless character, because nobody's going to smuggle stuff in a cookie jar, are they? It's see-through. So how would we make this work? It's not that I'm against the idea, I'm just thinking, how could we make it work? He doesn't have to be adopted. He's the whole, I mean, nothing against that. Carol could totally have an adopted son. We don't know if she's ever been married or had anybody. She could be a virgin, you know. I'm not against it, but it's just yeah, it's we can think about it. We'll think about what we can do, and even if he was a cookie jar, like I say, that sounds really cute. Just, it could be a plot hole with him being see-through. Cookie jars are see-through, aren't they? I assume they are, unless I'm misinformed. Maybe some aren't. Because it'd be cool, like, you know, if there was maybe there's a reason why this son is a better thing to smuggle raindrops in than the others. Maybe there's something about him that the villains value over the other barrels. Something that makes him special, maybe. Probably if he was like a cookie jar or a different kind of object. People wouldn't suspect him, but if he is a cookie jar, I think people will open it up and expect cookies inside, so chances are the stuff will be found. I'm overthinking now, but that's what I do. Too young to have been left alone, so Carol smuggled him along during the smuggling trip. A smuggle within a smuggle. or they used the sun to keep the barrels in line. I've never seen a clear cookie jar. I'm sure they can be, maybe if he was a smaller barrel that always held cookies, and his nickname is Cookie Jar and he hates being called that. Cookie Jar is his actual name. That would be funny. If it's not see-through, then I'm going to consider it. I think the reason, I just assumed that it was see-through for some reason. I'm going to do a Google search to look at cookie jars. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought a cookie jar was. Let's get it up. That there. And that was exactly what I pictured. But like we say, we could have some, he could be not see-through. There's others like that too. just a nickname he hates being called. It's quite cute. I think cuteness for this character is definitely going to be a factor. Just make him a barrel that held the sweets. Well, he is a small barrel. If he is going to be a barrel, he'll be small. He'll be small no matter what he is, because he's a baby. For sure. Yeah. I'm interested to know what you think. I mean, my mind is going crazy with ideas now because I'm wondering the route we can take for the little boy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll think about him as we design these guys, because we know more about the other characters at the moment. But I'm going to make notes about what you've said. So I'm going to get my notepad file up and do that, because there's been quite a few things said in chat. We don't want to forget about them. Did Carol and the gang do the smuggling willingly? No. I mean, we haven't really talked about this plot yet. I very vaguely mentioned it, but I definitely give you guys more of a detail, and we'll flash it out together when we do the flashback. But just to summarize it, you may know that the currency in the game is raindrops. It's a liquid currency, but only freshly fallen raindrops are valuable and considered currency. If it's already fallen, if it's pond water, or it's not valuable anymore. And there's like big discussion about weather control. Is somebody potentially controlling the weather so that they can have an advantage? Like, is this a society where raindrops are fairly distributed or not? Things will be more interesting if they're not, because it will be. But you know, there's a lot of things to still flesh out with that currency, and a lot of ideas that haven't been 100% decided. But it's interesting and unique, and it fits with the game name. And basically, it's going to be smuggling involving that, like the illegal raindrops. But the question is, how are they illegal? Like, are they? There'll probably be lots of different ideas we can come up with how they're illegal, but it's not decided yet completely. We'll have to consider a few different things. But they haven't done it willingly, no, because these guys are good. They're victims. They're being used and abused for selfish reasons. I feel bad for them. Okay, so I'm going to go scroll back a bit in chat and copy and paste some things that were said earlier. My goodness, I'm scrolling back quite a bit actually. So I've got the bit about the flashback making Hank disabled. Those cold metal oil barrels, they just make mongrels with you. Lost a plank in the war. So maybe that's why Hank's lost plank already exists, and he already has it because of his past in the war, and his hole happens in this flashback. That's how he gets this particular injury. And then I got what Elite said about the James Dean with the oil drum. Rex saying pink with a bow for Meryl. making notes like this just saves me going through my VODs. I feel like Carol's son, yeah, I like, because he's a small, he could be valuable to the smugglers because they could easily hide him more than the other barrels. Yeah, whether he's a barrel or another object, we don't know. But if he is genuinely Carol's flesh and blood, well, not flesh and blood, because he's a wooden barrel, then he would be a barrel too. But if he's adopted, then there's always room for him being a cookie jar or anything else. And I'm not sure now. I'm not sure which one will be best. I kind of want to see what you guys like the sound of. But yeah, the smuggling trip, like Carol and her family, the companions, wouldn't have even known what was going on. It's part of their life to be transported because of what they are. They're barrels. So they're used to that happening, being put up on cars and transported from place to place. But they don't know this. They don't know the implications of what's actually happening this particular time. They just think it's just a normal day, when really there's some really dark stuff going on. Poor barrels. Okay, so I've saved all the combo. What peeps have said. We've got a lot of stuff here. I mean, I won't rule out doing a poll for Carol's son today if we want to like decide what 100% what he's going to be. I'm interested in hearing options about him because we've only got either barrel or cookie jar so far. So let me know. Let me know if there's anything that you think could be cool. And if not, we'll just have those two as options and we'll put a poll up. What do you reckon? How goes the good fight? Hi Zexy, how's it going? I hope you're well. This is for Carol's son. Yeah, he's the only one we haven't really fleshed out yet because he wasn't in the poll. He's a character that's automatically in the story. So we haven't had a chance to talk about him yet. All we know is he's Carol's son and he's going to be small. We don't have a name for him yet, and there's talk of whether he's actually a barrel or another object altogether. Obviously, if he's Carol's real son, he'll be a barrel too, but he could be an adopted son. Carol might be a virgin, so that would fit for being an adopted son. I think it kind of fits with Carol's character to not have had anybody, because she's there's some sort of weird naivety about her. And the fact that she can't develop she has a weird way of showing affection. So yeah, it got suggested that Carol's son could be a cookie jar. So I'm thinking now doing a poll of either barrel, cookie jar, or any other type of object that the son could be if he is adopted, that is. And see what his overall what you guys like most for him. And then we got Woody, who's a different object too. But it does make them stand apart to be something other than a barrel, I suppose. Makes them a little bit distinctive. I know we haven't talked about it much yet, but I could imagine that special containers have to be created magically to capture the raindrops, and the whole of Carol's family was a failed experiment to forge those containers to illegally get rainwater. That's interesting, because obviously the raindrops have to be, they're liquid, so something has to hold them. And generally they could be stored in bottles, they could be stored in water skins, they could be stored in anything at all that holds liquid when they are transported and distributed, and when they're in people's inventory and stuff as well. They're obviously not going to be loose raindrops, but yeah, it's I mean, Zexian's had a little chat, mentioned something in the raindrops ideas discussion yesterday about the currency, but everything that's been suggested could all work together, I'd say. Nothing seems to clash, at least, anyway. Could be the jokester, a barrel of laughs. You think? I think he should be the adorable one. But who would be the jokester? I feel Woody. Woody fits the jokester type. What do you guys think? I felt with Carol's son, he's like the sweet cutie pie. Sweet cutie pie who everybody wants to protect. But maybe you guys have another vision completely for the son. I'm just thinking what I imagine, but it doesn't mean I'm overly attached to my ideas. If somebody has a better one, then I'm always all for listening, and whatever ends up being like the most overall correct, people like the most, is generally, I think, what we should probably go with. Raindrops aren't controlled currency. Yeah, and I definitely think, you know, raindrops, exploring a whole liquid weather-based currency, you know, Raindrop Chronicles can like show how chaotic something like that would be, having that type of that form of, because it would be absolutely crazy, wouldn't it, when you think of it. But I do like the idea of weather control. Some antagonist or really dodgy faction, or multiple dodgy factions, do different things for different reasons. That's a really good idea. Whether raindrops are crystallized, who knows, that could be something that people do. I feel like the actual currency should be liquid and held in stuff, but I wouldn't rule out something, people kind of manipulating the raindrops for other things, or using them for what they shouldn't use them for. There was even talk about, there's been loads of discussion, somebody said maybe people drink the raindrops and it does something to them, like someone even mentioned immortality or for eternal youth from drinking them. It was just, there's been a lot of things that have been casually brought up that are interesting to consider, because who knows what kind of plots couldn't be discovered from these things. Yeah, candy or cookie jar makes sense for the sweet one. Yeah, you think? Well, most comets start being so because they stand out, so to speak. Plus easy to break, so they want to protect him. Oh yeah, he would be made out of glass, right? If he was a cookie jar, but he'd be see-through if he was glass. So maybe what's the material for cookie jars? What a noob I am. Clay? Would it be clay if it isn't see-through? Because he can't be see-through, because with a smuggling plot that would be epic fail. You'd see it all. Bless him. I'm totally with you. I just know that to control the currency, a government would need something in place to prevent people from just making a bunch of containers to go around collecting rain and getting rich. Oh, that's illegal, Rex. If people were caught with containers collecting rain, that is a serious crime in this world. But that doesn't mean people aren't doing it, you know. But if they got caught, it would be like a really heavy punishment. So it's not something people can do casually or whenever they please. Like, it's very much that only the government can do that. Like a proper government faction are the ones that could have control of distribution, perhaps, just to keep things in control. Otherwise it would be chaos. But it doesn't mean the government are like good. You know, they could be, the people could think that the government are distributing things fairly, and but who knows, maybe the government are actually really corrupt and are giving them to the wrong people. And maybe if we even think of weather control, maybe that means that the people who live in very areas of high rainfall, like the swampy areas, rainy cities and stuff, they're like there's actually a reason. You know, it's all been manipulated so they can get the raindrops for their own selfish reasons. And people, it was discussed that deserts could be poor because of that, and deserts and wastelands have had to form their own currency type to survive. So there's just been lots of things mentioned, and they're all pretty interesting. So a box in barrels would end up the odd one out. So maybe start doing jokes and the likes to get friends. Yeah, the box is the odd one out. So yeah, he fits the jokester, especially because he's called Woody and he's a cardboard box. There's already something very amusing about his character from that alone. So yeah, for sure. Glass or ceramic maybe, yeah. Clear with candy canes and things in. Yeah, he's gotta be, if he's involved in the smuggling plot, which these guys all are, he has to kind of not be seen through for it to work. Otherwise, realistically, the smugglers would just leave him. They wouldn't bother to bring the son with them. Unless that's part of it. Maybe he is see-through and he gets left. He could. Maybe when the party do find all the barrels and they're like, sorry, your son's not here. He got abandoned because he's see-through. Well, it could be. So if all containers and wallets and such need to be approved and magically enchanted to allow them to hold the raindrops properly, you could have an incentive for someone to try and illegally create those enchantments on barrels, oil drums, cookie jars, etc. Just trying to get rich. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste what you're saying, because what usually happens is that my brain cannot take all the information in, which is what's happening right now, because I love it, don't get me wrong, the ideas, it's fantastic to have all these cool ideas, but I'm going to have to read it in a little while, just because it's a lot for me to read at once. But I'll defo copy and paste this because it's pretty interesting, and I do like what I'm reading. And sometimes when the stream gets probably a little bit quieter, sometimes I might have a read then. But it can be really, really hard to do when there's like lots and lots of chat going on to absorb all the info. Ceramic, but Elite beat me to it. Ceramic clay works. Yeah, so if he's not going to be see-through, he'd be clay or ceramic. If he is going to be see-through, he'd be glass. So I guess it's just thinking now what is the best way to go for him. And we could always do a series of polls to decide, because at the moment it's very up in the air what the son's going to be made of, what he's going to be. I'm definitely thinking it seemed like cookie jar, judging from how chat are now. You guys like the idea of me being a cookie jar. And he could be that if he is see-through, there could be a plot there where he got abandoned for being see-through, so he was now used to the smugglers. But if we don't want to go for that plot, he can just, we want to keep him with the others, then he could just be non-see-through. I guess it's what we like best. I'm not a graphic designer, so the transparency or depth might be difficult to put sweets inside a clear jar. Yeah, we won't be putting, I don't know if we'll be putting sweets in him. He'd be empty, perhaps. We haven't even thought about that, but we don't know what that'll come in after. I like it. Water is needed to live, so it becomes valuable, but the act of collecting it becomes illegal. That's true dystopia. Yeah, I like that too. I like dystopian things. But it's useless though. The thing is, it's pond water, etc. People don't give a damn about that. It's utterly useless. So if people were collecting that, it wouldn't be a big deal. It's literally only freshly fallen rainwater that is considered, it has like the magical property in it that is considered valuable as currency. But even so, there's still a bit of dystopia in the whole thing. We can make it that way. Make it rain. The Prime Minister Trottier's government is the best government in all of history. Well, could your guy elite be behind this corruption in any way? I'd be intrigued to know if that's possible, if that's something you could imagine your character being involved in. Like, what would he think, Prime Minister Trottier, about this currency? What would his aim be so he could become a powerful man? Thank you, Stu, for the raid. I appreciate that. How are you guys doing? I'm super behind with chat, guys, because of all your awesome ideas. And I've been reading them all. But I am going to make notes. No one has ever run a kingdom better. Well, maybe the citizens think he's a good prime minister. Maybe he like gives that impression he is, but really he's doing all sorts to the dodgy stuff behind the scenes. Fun facts: it's illegal to collect rainwater in the United States, so it makes sense that it'd be legal in Raindrop Chronicles. Oh, really, Zach? So that's pretty fascinating. Copy and paste that too, and I will like read, because Rex said some really interesting stuff that I haven't had a chance to properly take in either yet, but if we ever get a point where chat gets quiet, I'm going to read those again. But I'm like so behind with chat at the moment, and I'm so, oh gosh, I'm still getting used to this, guys. I'm not used to my streams being so busy. Right, let's catch up. It's technically a natural resource, but also traded like a commodity. A baby bottle. Oh, that would be cute. Bless him. But yeah, he'd be so useless to the smugglers. You know, there's something kind of cute and vulnerable about him now, if he is useless to the smugglers, and they're just like, yeah, just leave that. We don't need that. And he's just left in a puddle of water to unabandoned. Bless him. We don't know. Yeah, I feel like we need to do a poll on the kid to like fully decide what the best design and personality. Well, I think we know his personality's sweet and adorable. That's pretty much said. But his appearance and what he is, I suppose we need to get decided. But then you can tell that he's a sweetie jar. Couldn't we? We can make him. I mean, it's not a big deal. You don't have to scream sweetie jar. Like, it didn't have to be his identity to be a sweetie jar. He's literally going to just be cute. And something that can have things put inside him, I guess. Could say cookies on his belly. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, we don't know until we've done the design what's going to work and what isn't. That's where the experimenting comes in. It's very hard to visualize something that when you've not even done the graphic yet. But a lot of like, you know, changing and adding things will probably be done when we do the assets to make sure it's awesome. And Devin, Leon, and Stu, and Laser, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so late at welcoming you into the stream. I feel terrible. I feel like a terrible human. But how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. And welcome. It's good to have you all here. If you want to know more about our project, it's there. So feel free to read about it. Prime Minister Treasurer is responsible for corruption. Absolutely not. Those are political lies spread by his treasonous opponents who are corrupt ones themselves. Everyone knows it. People tell me all the time. Well, maybe, but maybe not. But what are the lies then? People spreading lies about the Prime Minister corrupt stuff. I want to know what these lies are. I'm intrigued. Oh, maybe they are smuggling him because plot reveal he has natural way of keeping rainwater fresh and so valuable, so they want him. That's cool. That's a cool idea as well. Fox, and I think, yeah, if he is like whatever he is, if he's a cookie jar or a sweet jar, he's gonna have to be empty, you know, if he's smuggling rain. If he did have sweets inside him at one point, he would have been there would have been emptied out. Maybe that happens. Maybe he starts off with tweets inside him at the very first part of the flashback, and the smugglers come in the cart, they grab them, and they empty him and put what they want in him, and he's all sad because he liked having sweets in him. And Hank as well. They might pick him up and drop him, and that's how he gets his whole. Yeah, that's how I see this thing's going. Something along those lines. So close. Welcome, Raiders. Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm so slow at catching up with chat. They must be cannibals eating the insides of a baby. Oh. But yeah, we could do... Who thinks we should do some polls to like really 100% decide about our little baby of Carol's, what he's gonna be like? Because I feel like we've got a multitude of ideas going on here for him, and we don't know which one to go with at the moment. So what do you all think? No, it is illegal because if you're collecting rainwater, the water isn't going to proper rivers like it would naturally, and because some states have water rights regarding rivers, waters that would go into specific rivers already owned by a state, so the odds of a law committing theft. My goodness, guys, I'm reading all this, so I want to take it all in. My brain is mush again. They must be, but yeah, please, guys, if you've got anything really cool and lengthy to say to me, I mean, you can talk to each other, of course, Zexy and Tail, but I always like to read because I'm nosy, and it's all linked to this rain plot, so I'm curious. But if there's anything specifically to me that you want to say, then the Raindrop Chronicles ideas discussion is perfect for that, because I can really have a good read of it after the stream and take it in properly. But if you do put it in chat, I will copy and paste it and put it in Notepad anyway. I'll try it, so as long as I don't miss it. So I'm going to read that at some point for sure, because there's quite a few notes here. I don't know, you could pretty much blame all the evil corruption in Kingdom on he and his lackeys. Most obvious corruption involving money laundering. The corrupt government would be treasurer laundering his own money to fund a private army and mine for the precious ores needed for the arcane gate. Yeah, because your character is very much focused on, you know, if I'm correct, his master is like somewhere in space. Am I correct? Your character's like trying to open some sort of portal, if I'm correct. But yeah, so he doesn't necessarily have to be the antagonist involved in any of the weird stuff going on with the raindrops, but who knows, maybe there's another antagonist or a faction, or maybe the Prime Minister is involved but we just don't know it because we all think he's doing other stuff. We don't know. Put in another plane. Don't see. I love that because it brings like a sort of futuristic kind of element to our game. And we've already had Juice's character who has mentioned on his character sheet that he randomly teleports to places and stuff. So, you know, we've already seen that can be an element in our game, and I think that's quite interesting. I'm glad we're exploring it. Okay, so I'm going to just read the notepad messages, the stuff I put in notepad now, because now I've caught with chat. I feel like I can. So give me a mo, everybody, and then we'll get to designing some of the characters. So I think this is the longest I've not spoke. I'm really trying to take things in from the stuff you guys have been chatting about, because I have to not speak to focus properly. Typical moustache twirling cowboy villain. Exploitation of workers. Errol. Wasn't Errol mentioned yesterday? Is that a cute enough name though? Named after pretty boy Errol Flynn. Who's Errol Flynn? Who is he? I'm so sorry. I've never heard that name before. But I'm gonna Google who Errol Flynn is now, because I want to see. I'm going to feel like a massive noob if he's some super famous person or something. An Australian-born American actor during the golden age of Hollywood. Oh, right, okay. So he was somebody around many years ago. You think he's pretty? Actor's scandalous private life was more spectacular and darker than anything he did on screen. Ooh. Fled unsubscribe. I understand if you have to unsub. I'm not the most knowledgeable person, so I understand. It was good to know you, Zach, though. Your grandmother probably had a crush on him. Yeah, maybe. But I feel like we have to do some polls with the son, because we just have a lot of different ideas going on with him. So we need to kind of confirm those. So we're going to have to think about what we can have as the actual polls. If anyone's got any ideas. I mean, name suggestions, feel free to give me now. We've already had a name suggestion from Elite. We've had one from Rex as well. Well, Rex's was just Cookie Jar, but I'm not against having that as his actual name. But if you guys give me, I mean, no pressure. You don't have to do it right now. We could do it throughout the stream. But I'll gather a list of any names that you might suggest for him, and we'll have a poll when we've got a few. I might also put some other ones up about what he's made out of and stuff like that too. Hi Andy Cake, how are you doing? Reach. Oh, I never really was a Halo player, just because I don't play FPS, but I know that it's a very popular one, so I'm sure some people are. So, hope you're excited. I'm excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake and the new CD Projekt Red game. They're probably my most excited releases when they come out. His nickname, pet name, but he gets called, could be based on different types of cookies, like Snickerdoodle or Ginger Snap. I'll add those as well too. It's got a doodle. I love that word. Wow, Dougal anyway. Sexy. You must read my mind on what my favourite names are. So, I guess it's what everybody prefers. Whether it's going to have a more normal name, like Errol, or whether it's going to just have a completely wacky name, like Snickerdoodle, or something like that. And I guess we'll only know this when we see the poll results. It's whatever ends up the most popular. I feel like that's always the way to go with this, because otherwise it's very, very difficult to make decisions. We could be here forever deciding. And thank you very much, Lenny, for that follow. I appreciate it. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. No, my idea was that he has a name, but the others call him Cookie John. He hates they call him that. It's a common trait. It's just an idea. No need to use it. Not into it. Well, I want to see what you guys do. If you guys are into it, this isn't about me. Well, sometimes it is. But if I'm indecisive like I am right now, then it's about you guys. So yeah, if that's the case, Rex, I'll get it out the poll. If it's more of a nickname. But I'll still make a note of it. Hi Lolo, welcome. Yeah, my mind, if I've read something wrong, then it's probably because I'm taking a lot of info in at the moment. But yeah, feel free to correct me if I read something wrong, guys. Okay. So we've got 3 so far then with a name, but I'll wait a bit longer to see if you come up with any more name suggestions. Oh, really, Lily? Oh, my goodness. I just love the idea of him being actually Cookie Jar. As it just seems like he would be a really cute, naive character. You mean as an object, his Cookie Jar, or his name, Fox? Because, yeah, we're going to have to decide what he is as well. So it's not just about the name, it's about what he is as an object. So I'm actually, hang on. I'm going to just hide graphic scale for a sec. We'll go back to this because I really want to do some assets, and we still have time. We've still got an hour and a half of stream or more left, so we've definitely got some time to start the assets at least. But I think we need to get these parts up for the boy. I think that's going to be something we could do. So just going to add a little bit of space for him here. I don't want to delete that info. I'll keep that there for now. So I think we'll just plan it out on here before we actually put the poll up, just so I can write the name suggestions and you guys can actually see what they are then. And the other one was what should he be? Like, what object should he be? If anybody had, like, if you have any poll ideas, anyone, and you think actually this could be a good question for the sun or anything related to it, then feel free to say, because I'm not against adding more if we need. Damn, I'm having real issues thinking of what the title of the poll should be. There we go. I'm going to just put playlist back on because it's finished. As an object, cool. So we've already said cookie jar is a popular one. It was Rex was the one that had the idea in the first place, and Fox has confirmed that they like the object too. I'm actually going to put barrel there as well, because you never know. That could still be one. He could be. But if there's any more, feel free. I don't mind just having those two on the poll. Just the choice of the two if we have to. That's no worries. Errol. Oh my gosh, I don't like how it changes the text. I want to keep the same text, please. My goodness me. What a pain in the butt. I'm gonna scream. Everything's disappearing. Okay, fine, am I? Usually draw IO is very nice to me. Okay, so snicker. So that's what we got. Those are the community suggestions so far. I'll give it a little bit longer. I would like to get the poll up soon, so you guys get time to vote before the end of stream. And I don't mind just having those as options if nobody has any more. So that's fine. Just want to at least consider if there is any more. That's all. He could be a cute cookie jar, but he should have a proper name. A proper name, like Arthur or something. So this means if he is a cookie jar, that means he's an adopted son of Carol. He's not her own. But I don't mind that, because it does actually fit with Carol's character to not have had a child or have not ever been in a relationship at all. She's quite naive and it struggles to show affection to people. So it would kind of fit, I think. But you know, I'm not totally against him being a barrel either, if that's what wins the poll, but we'll see. I feel like the one thing I'm wondering about though is whether it'd be a see-through cookie jar or a cookie jar that wasn't see-through, because either of them could work, and him being see-through actually could bring up potential interesting plotline, because if he's like abandoned for being useless. But at the same time, that's just one plotline, because there was also a plotline mentioned about him being, hang on, I've got a note of it here. There was a plotline mentioned about him being like valuable. Oh my goodness, am I ever going to find it? Because I've got so much notes here. Oh damn it, somebody mentioned something about the son, about him being valuable for some reason, but I completely forgot what it was. And it's here somewhere, because I'm pretty sure I've copied and pasted everything, but the text is like that, guys. It's going to take a good half hour to read through all that. But if anybody wants to say again, if you remember what it was, then feel free to say. You like Arthur? Should we add Arthur as well? I don't know. Just spell out. I think that's how you tell Arthur. So I guess it's preference. Some people might prefer proper names like Errol and Arthur, and others might like a silly name like Snickerdoodle. So this is it'll be interesting to see which one gets it. He doesn't have to be adopted if they were all created at the same time. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, we hadn't even talked about how they were born or how they came to sentience yet. Like, that hasn't really been... Maybe it has been discussed, but I haven't read it yet. Have you guys talked about that? I mean, it's been briefly, like, discussed in the Ideas channel about sentience of barrels and how it happened, but we haven't, like, confirmed it yet or anything. So, at the moment when I'm talking about him being Carol's son, I'm thinking from a literal perspective here, with them being the same type of object. But obviously it doesn't have to be like that. There could have been a magical reason for why they were born. But I have a lot to read, chat, so I don't know everything yet. Put it in the vote. Chip the cookie jar. Chip's cute as well. But some of these names will not be suitable if it's a barrel. Probably. Chip the barrel. But Chip the cookie jar, yeah. One month subscriber. Maybe they are smuggling him because Potterville has a natural way of keeping... Oh, that was it. Yeah, that's exactly what it was that I read. And I couldn't remember what it was exactly, but I knew it was good. So if it can keep the rainwater fresh, then definitely him being a cookie jar works for that, because that cookie jars probably can keep things fresher than barrels can. Barrels, I can imagine, probably... You know, well, probably not so much. The wooden and smelly. And Hank's got a hole in him, so. I think it was because he was a special raindrop holder, yeah. So, guys, are we like, I think, are we going to just say he's a cookie jar now? Because I feel like this first part here might be irrelevant now. Because we're coming up with all sorts of names that fit for cookie jar and not barrel. And the way the plot is going, it seems that cookie jar just is 100% now. So I might just get rid of that first pollen. We'll just up the one for the names, actually. What do you reckon? It was you. Well, I had an idea for it that I expressed today, but I don't think you have a good... It's probably in my big list of things to read, Rex, don't worry. I will read it at some point. It's just... it's so much for me to read. I hope you can forgive me. However, now isn't the time for that. All I wanted to say is that just because he's a cookie jar doesn't mean he has to be adopted. Yeah, I've completely not even thought about anything magical about behind their sentience yet. But it has been discussed, so it's probably very likely that they actually, you know, were born that way. Probably the best way to do it, to be honest. It makes no sense at all that a barrel can give birth like a human can. And have a barrel come out of its womb. Like, what even? That'd just be weird. So, yeah. You could have a plot around him along the lines of he holds a secret to Raindrop currency situation, and with his ability can allow the port to get that valuable resource, so the higher ups want him for themselves. Yeah. So I'm going to say now, like, because this is an interesting point about the higher ups wanting him. Rose does a painting for Carol to show where her family are, including her son, because Rose is the only one that knows. And I haven't explained how she knows, but she does. And in the flashback, I'll talk about that with you. And she does a painting of a city with rain I don't know if you guys worked that out when I did it. Some of you might have thought, what is this? Because it was a bit bad. It was a bit of a bad Pictionary attempt. But that's basically what he is. So the party probably won't click that that's what it is straight away, because it's purposely meant to be a bad drawing, and it will need some, they'll need some time to decode the meaning of Rose's painting. But eventually they will realise that it's the Rain City, so that's probably where they'll be taken, where the higher ups are. But who knows? Maybe they're somewhere else, and Rose has another motivation. There's a bazillion ways the plot could go. But I'm going to copy that as well, folks. Because I have ideas, I have like a basic idea of what things are, but I'm always up for hearing, but what if we do this like instead, or anything else, for sure. Because especially if there's a better way of doing it. Okay, so are we going to get rid of this poll? Should we just confirm he's a cookie jar, everybody? I think we kind of should. I have not seen anybody in chat say that they think he should be a barrel. Nobody. Everybody seems to think cookie jar. See-through or not see-through though? That's the question. Because with that particular plot, with him keeping the water fresh, he could be either. But if he is see-through, you know, there's no hiding that there's rain in him then. So maybe he shouldn't be see-through. It would only have worked if he was see-through, probably if he got like, if he was not, you know, abandoned for being see-through. But it doesn't seem that we're going to go with that one. So maybe we should have him be a ceramic kind of cookie jar that isn't see-through. And we can pick a colour for him then as well. Bia, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Cookie jar, yeah. So yeah, if anybody at all doesn't like the cookie jar, now's the time to speak up, because I'm going to just say it's a cookie jar. We're going to get rid of that poll, because I really think everybody would vote cookie jar. I just get this feeling. So I'm gonna just look at a cookie jar reference, everybody. Let's pick out something we could use as a reference. There's a lot of non-see-through cookie jars here, so I'm intrigued to know if you guys think more of a cookie jar that isn't see-through, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what everybody imagines or visions yet for the look of the cookie jar, because you've got these ones, or we've got something like that, but I don't think you should have text on him, because he'll have a face and stuff. But there's something like that, or that. Oh no, he's gonna be way cuter than that, for sure. Is there anything particularly distinctive about cookie jars? Because it did get mentioned, I can't remember what was exactly said, but something about it not being able to tell that it's a cookie jar. They look so different. I mean, apparently that's a cookie jar. You can have a cookie jar be anything. But yeah, I think a traditional cookie jar would be good. If he has value, do as we say or the cookie jar gets it, or by plot type thing, then he can be transparent and they would still take him. But if he isn't important, he would be dumped. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. I don't know what we're gonna go with here. Sorry, I'm a bit confused. So yeah. Yep. I'm a confused one. My head's spinning. Yeah, we'll leave this for now, I think, because I don't know. I know. We still want to think the name, but there's just too many different. I don't have like a solid idea of what his appearance could be right now. And maybe you did say, but I've probably missed it or not read it yet, just because there's been a lot that's been said today. And that's going to happen. Then you could better understand what you like him to look like, yeah. I'm a hungry one, so I'm going to go get a snack, okay? I'll be back soon. guys, I'm back. Sorry about long BRB. I had to get a snack because I am absolutely famished. Like, seriously, like, almost, like, I feel like I haven't ate in, like, 5 days. It's, like, that kind of famished. And, honestly, I had lunch the second before I went live. I don't know what's wrong with me and why I get hungry. Like, almost, like, so hungry I could faint kind of hungry. It's very weird. But I've been like this a lot lately, especially the last, like, year or so. I feel like the most hungry I've ever been. Welcome, Cosmic. Yes, this music is from Final Fantasy 14. Welcome to the stream. And hi, Van. Getting those raindrops. Thank you for the welcome back, guys. Right, so let's just get back on the stream. I am so hungry, and it's really hard to stream as well when you're this hungry. But I've got some almond milk now as well. It's nearly gone. Okay, so I am thinking of putting Carol's son on the back seat for now, just because I need to have a real think about this myself. It's been a little bit, loads of different ideas, not sure where it's going quite yet. And I know that we can put up a poll saying, shall it be see-through or not see-through? But at the moment, I just don't even know. I don't, like, it feels like it's just a bit random. So I'm going to just design the other barrels for now, and at least have a think about the kid, and maybe next time I'll have some more ideas about him. I mean, him being a cookie jar is totally good, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the names that have been suggested too. But I feel like the whole see-through or not see-through thing is something that shouldn't just be a rush decision. Because it's, you know, the plot could go completely different way just on that simple design decision. And if I put up a poll saying that, people might not get the implications with the vote, if that makes sense. Hope I'm not being confusing. So I'm just going to go back to graphic scale, and we'll decide what the other guys are going to look like. How do you do see-through transparency RPG? You just, how you do, like, you can just do it. Like, I'm gonna like find a reference now just so I can show you how it could work. Give me a moment. Like this. You know, it doesn't have to be literally see-through. You just give the impression that it's see-through. Like that. That clearly is a see-through glass bottle. So if he was see-through, he could be a cookie jar with that sort of light blue colour, I guess. Most of the time it's light blue, isn't it? I mean, you got something like that, but which could work. You could just do an outline and make it white. That's always possible too. It's whatever design visual decision you want, really. You got the freedom. Sorry, Medima. So I just want to say, look, it's just really, sometimes it can be difficult if there's typos in things to properly understand. It's not your fault, guys, but I really appreciate it if you proof checked your idea, especially if it's long, because sometimes I'm not gonna understand what you mean. But I'm not mad or anything, so don't worry. It's just, it can take a time to process it more if that's the case. But it's not just you, Liquid. There's been a lot of things in general said in chat today that I've struggled to understand with a few typos in. So, and it's not just you that's done it. It's not at all. Cookie Dark Out, not sure about how it should look, so I'm just suggesting things. Yeah, I'm not sure either, to be honest. It's something I'm like still wondering about. It's hard to always visualize something, but that's why you just try and see how it looks. I mean, Carol the Barrel was very much, what on earth is this gonna look like, before I did her. But when we did do her, she was great. We loved her, didn't we? But at first it was like, how on earth are we gonna do a barrel with her face? But you can be surprised by what you can create. So we got a description for the other 4, and we'll just, I mean, we'll return to the sun assets, but I feel like we're spending a lot of time on just this one character at the moment, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I did want to do the assets today and we haven't done it, so we can talk about what they can look like. There was something said about Meryl that was said in chat earlier, and I did make a note of them. A bottle character. Yeah, there's not an actual bottle, but it's gonna look the same. Like if it's made out of glass, Carol's son, then he will have that sort of look in the shape of a cookie jar. But we don't even know if it's see-through yet or glass. He could be ceramic. Like I said, we're still a little bit unsure about him, and I just don't feel ready to put up a poll yet asking what material it should be, because there's a lot of it'll affect the plot drastically, whatever material he is, because of the whole smuggling thing. So I feel like we have to properly think about it first. We should think of the plot first, and then potentially then we'll have more of an idea what he can look like after. And I just need time to read everything that's been said today and properly think things over. Comic, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. At least when I type things out properly, it will be appreciated. I'm weird like that. Yeah, we all make typos. It's no worries at all, but it's no big deal. I just hope you guys can bear with me, because it can be longer to understand things. Hi, Living on Edge, how are you doing? Thank you. You like my shirt? Yeah. It's actually quite cold, so I've got this. It's not a very thick shirt. How are you doing though, Edge? I hope you're having a good day. Okay, so I'm thinking of Carol's sister Meryl right now. Where are we going to put her description when we design her? We'll just pop it here for now, because we need to get it out of the way. So, Carol. We're going to use Carol as a base for Meryl, because she's a barrel just like her. She'll probably be the same size as Carol too in shape, but visually I think she should look pretty different, so she stands out a bit more. thought this white was see-through, but it's not. I'm not going to fuss too much about alignment and that at the moment. I'll think about that later. What's our transparent colour we're using here? Graphic scale can be weird sometimes. I do struggle with the whole transparency thing with graphic scale sometimes and how it works. I do like it as a software, but so this is the transparent colour. So it is full on white, which is what I've got, but it's not working, and it does this sometimes and it's a bit frustrating. So I'm gonna have, I really don't want to do things the long way. We can always give it another transparent colour. We can. Wow, that is weird. Why on earth did I do that when I did Cowboy? Why would I make it have a white background? I'm frustrated with myself now. It doesn't matter. Like, I only gave. I'm just going to get rid of these grey backgrounds for now, because I'm not going to fuss over alignment right now, and if they're properly positioned in their squares, I'll do that at the end. Because I could fuss over that for the next 20 minutes and then stream will be finished and we'll have done nothing. Hope you're doing well, Rose. Not too bad. Not too bad. But I hope you're good too. And are you looking forward to the Christmas edge? Right. So now the fill. Now this is going to be an interesting one, because I do think Meryl's colour should be different. What is... Oh, okay. I see how I design this now. This is weird now. I designed this very weirdly. It's not. It doesn't work. The layers aren't even separate. I'm not ignore me, guys. I'm rambling to myself. Probably should have checked this before I streamed. One thing I could do is just edit Carol's barrel. That'll probably be easier. Because the copy and paste and things is a big mess. So I'm obviously gonna have a new save file because we don't want to save over Carol's asset. That would be a disaster. I'm just gonna call it Meryl for now, and we'll just edit it this way. We believe in you guys. Thank you, Zaxi. Meryl's colour. I'm up for suggestions, guys, because we haven't had many ideas yet, so this gives me freedom on Meryl. But if you guys have any kind of vision for her, then I'm up for suggestions, as long as she differs to Carol somewhat. I mean, somebody said rock chick, like a goth, and somebody else said a pink boy, and that's very, very different. That's preppy versus rock chick there. One thing we know is that Carol's a bit feisty though, so if we did have a rock chick, that might not be distinct enough from Carol, because Carol's got that sort of vibe going with the with the black sort of edge here. I feel like we should change the colour for Meryl, not have it be black. Yeah, thank you for follow, Cosmic. I might have said it, I might not have. Sometimes I forget, but I appreciate it. Bikini top on her that she found one day and put on because she wanted to look sexy. A bikini top and a bow. But or just a bikini top. I believe it was you that suggested the pink bow, wasn't it, Rex? So yeah, it's getting that vision, a vibe for Meryl, because we don't know nothing about it. We only know she's got a big crush on this oil drum bad boy. I do admit I like the rock chick goth look, but the only reason I'm unsure is because Carol's got that look, and I feel we need to go for something very different in appearance to Carol for a sister. Definitely maybe someone who is a bit more Barbie doll like kind. Maybe we're right, we're going with the pink sort of thing. Maybe the goth one stored. It is aged in barrels. Really pronounced eyelashes. Oh yeah, because that'll fit with the flirty personality too. Pink and black barrels. Well, she probably wouldn't be pink. She'd probably be just a lighter brown, but if she was wearing a bikini, then that would be pink. Maybe it'd be pink. Hang on, I'm just gonna Google because I need to know. I need to give myself a bit of knowledge here with the leads thing. Yeah, when I think goth, guys, I think Carol the Barrel's too much like that. She's the Sundayer who's sassy and you know, I don't want a sister to just be another Carol the Barrel. I want to know if you guys see my point now, because I feel like I don't know, but I'm trying to envision a personality here for Meryl. Try googling Valley Girl. Okay, so yeah, like a Valley Girl would be very different to a goth girl, wouldn't it? And I'm getting like cosplay, like weird fancy dress tacky stuff for Valley Girls coming up now. Did somebody say sassy Sunday? Hi Silent, how you doing? Yeah, that's Carol the Barrel. And I mean, I love the whole idea of a gothic barrel, but yeah, Carol's not a goth. She's not. I mean, she could be, but she's close, I'd say. She's got the dark stuff going on. She's got the lippy. She's sassy. She's a Sundayer. She's aggressive in nature, and that would be kind of like a goth girl too. So I'm trying to think, like, what is the total opposite that Carol the Barrel would be? Someone very more sweet, probably. Someone who's a bit of a, or like you said, this Valley Girl thing, which is an American thing. I don't know much about that, but I'm assuming it's somebody who's really annoying and high maintenance. Am I right with that? Maybe there should be that type, the annoying high maintenance kind of person. I feel that's a good contrast to Carol. And in colour, I imagine that she'd be lighter. It's going to be weird seeing Carol in a brighter colour now. But hang on, we'll get rid of, we'll start from the very first layers here and build on her. Vapid, like thick? As in, she's a thick barrel? Carol's quite thick, isn't she? Can we get any thicker than Carol, really? I feel like she fills up the full face set. Maybe she could be made a bit larger, but I don't know. Oh, I thought we meant thick as in width. Thick-headed, not physically thick. Yeah, I get it now. Okay, so are we going to go for this for Meryl then? I think it fits. She fancies this really awful oil drum. And he's like a James Dean. So we've said. So, well, it could work. Sorry, lag, no worries. It's my bad. I saw the word thick and I immediately thought of, you know, this day and age, all the memes ever talk about is thick, and that's what I associated it with. So, but yeah, so we can go for that, but we'll get a good colour for it now. Is that too bright? So it should be just a touch brighter than Carol, or quite a fair bit. I've designed this really weirdly when I layered this up. It was like a while ago when I did Carol. But I don't know what my transparent colour is, so I can't even remove it, which is frustrating. Almost like she's a blonde, yeah. See, I definitely thought that for sure. If she was a goth, she'd be darker. But I'm not going to like go into super detail about doing the assets at the moment, because I do want to look at our other cast and get a rough guide for them what they could look like. But because I've layered this, but I've done it really weirdly. So, how much darker is that? So something to that colour. I mean, whether we keep that same colour for the lid, I don't know, because that was the colour Carol's lid was. Wow, I want to like scream at my past self right now, because this is not how you layer things up. You don't have the oh my goodness. Now I've got to add the colour all again. Yeah, this is going to take some time to fix, chat, because I made a really noob mistake when I made Carol. and it's screwing with easily changing the assets and making it work for a different colour. I guess I didn't know that we'd be doing the other barrels. So if I'm gonna build on her, I'm gonna have to do it from the top one, which is what I don't want to do. If I knew my transparent colour, I could fix this, because I could just delete the old brown. But graphic scale is a bitch. You know I'm mad when I say that word. It's okay, mistakes help us remember do it next time. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just like, what was I thinking? Why did I do it this way? So what is this game about? Hi Viv, how are you doing? Hope I haven't made a bad first impression. I'm salty at the moment because this is a really old asset. Well, not really old, but very early one when we started this game. I did not do it as I should have done. Let's just say that. What it should be is, you know how you guys can see that this is a blonde barrel, a blonde barrel. Well, when I put the layer above on, it should only have the shadow added. It shouldn't have the base colour on there again. So I'm like, I can fix it. It's gonna just be a bit of it's gonna take a bit of time. I need to figure out the transparent colour first of all, and it's confusing because when I add a transparent colour it don't work. But I don't get graphic scale sometimes. Naughty word, I know. Stream Deck like sound to beep out swear words. If only I was that. If only my setup was that fancy silent. I don't even have a Stream Deck. I literally quit working at GameStop because I got tired of manipulating hard-selling customers who became my friends. Games when they should have been saving their money. Just working on my own RPG game as a Twitch bot. It's played in chat. Oh, cool, Viv. Well, I do have a command. I feel like I've been really lame with new people lately. Like I haven't been as helpful and informative as I usually am. That's because I'm in focus mode at the moment. But welcome to the stream, Viv. And if you want to know more about our game, we have a command. Feel free to have a look and read about it. We have VODs on YouTube and we have a Twitter and stuff. So. Pursue a teacher, my GG elite. GG. But it's going to be really, really difficult to do any actual asset work today because of my silly way I did that, honestly. But, I want to talk about the others. I accidentally deleted the layer where I put their descriptions. But, I want to talk about them for sure before we end stream. Maybe it'll be easier to do it in notes probably, because I'm gonna delete these guys, the guys that lost the poll now, because we don't need them anymore. I do have a screenshot of them and their description, so if they come in the game later on, I've still got a screenshot to tell me who they were at least. So these were the ones that won, and we can just write a description of what they could look like visually now before we end stream. Oh my goodness! Thank you for the raid, Willow Scare. How you doing? And thank you for the follow, Viv. EMP and Mackie. How are you doing? It's good to see you all. I hope you had an amazing stream. How was Elder Scrolls today? I hope you had an amazing time. How did the stream go? Make sure you follow Willow Scout, guys, if you enjoy RPGs, which I'm sure you do if you're hanging out here. She plays a lot of MMOs like Elder Scrolls Online, and she's super lovely, and she's from England like me. Barrel RPG. I bet you're all thinking, what on earth what's this barrel? I'm making an RPG with my community, everyone, and we've recently we've decided to introduce some new barrel characters to our game, because this one here is she's very loved. Everybody's obsessed with her, so she's gonna have a family of barrels, and we're kind of fleshing them out, doing a bit of characterization, thinking what they can look like and stuff. So we'll see what they look like soon. Already following day. Thank you for welcoming everyone, Elite, and hi Pink Junkie, how are you doing today? Oh, she's from England, not going to watch now. Hi, Fizzle. Fizzle is the fan of dwarves. Fizzle loves a bit of dwarf. That's what I know about Fizzle. So I'm going to give you guys our command. If you want to know more about our project, we have a Trello page now as well. So it's pretty cool and fancy. I'm trying to keep all organised on it, and that's on our link tree as well. He loves a bit of dwarf. Thanks for outing me. Well, you're proud. You're proud of your love for dwarves, aren't you? You've got nothing to be ashamed of. So we've got four characters that are going to be added to the game. They're going to be part of the main plot. These barrels are. They're kind of the motivation of the story, to find them, because they've gone missing, and they're adorable. They're lovely. We've got Hank, who's a sad disabled barrel. Elvira, a normal barrel she's an antique barrel. And Meryl, a flirty barrel who is passionately in love with a bad boy oil drum. You gotta thank my community for these wacky ideas, by the way. Woody, an insecure cardboard box who makes everyone call him Woody. So he's not actually a barrel, he's a box. And we do have a little barrel as well that we got to design too. These were the ones that won our poll. So they won it by quite a long way. Willow's just jealous she can't get a bit of dwarf. Dwarves are cute, sort of. There's something cute about them, I guess. Don't mind, I just made a Lord of the Rings D&D game. Oh, did you, Elite? The villain was a dwarf. Dwarves make great villains. I think that's it. That was a good idea. Having a dwarf villain. That's adorable. It is. So, we were talking about Carol's sister Meryl. I'm going to just put a bit of gap between them, so we got some room to write a little description for each of them. Right. So Meryl. We've kind of decided she's going to be a Valley Girl barrel. So, but Valley Girls are very much an American term, but I think we all know what it means. It was also suggested that she wears a bikini, so that might be possible, a barrel wearing a bikini. What colour should the bikini be? Pink? I'm going to put question mark for now, because we don't know for sure if this is going to work, but it'll be cool if it does. She is lighter in colour, which we did try and do. We've been messing about with changing the colours, but I'll probably do a lot of that off stream, some of the asset creations, because this barrel is actually one of my own assets, so I'll be designing the other ones too. Because now, let's face it, there's no such thing as barrel character assets on the RPG Maker. They don't exist. They're too crazy and wacky to exist. Gotta get ready for stream. Oh, I hope it goes well, Elite. Hope it's a super fun one. So she'll be lighter in colour than Carol. I'll make this text a bit lighter actually. I didn't want it to be too bright because I don't want to blind you all. But I don't want you to not see it either. Just move it down now. And what colour shall her metal bits be that go around it? Because Carol's are black. I don't know what would suit Meryl. If she's lighter in colour, probably bronze or something, maybe. Or maybe there's another colour that's more appropriate. We'll talk about the others though, because I want to get a good description for each of these, because then if I do design the assets off stream, I want to have something to go by. And thank you, Kuro, for that follow. I appreciate it. Welcome. Bronze is good. Should we say what's the proper like name for the metal barrel bits? I know there is one. I just can't think. Bronze metal bits. That's what I call it. I have no idea. Yeah, we'll just call them metal bits. Oh, I know what it means. Okay, so the grandma, Alvira, should we do her next? She's a normal barrel who insists she's antique. I'll just make this text a bit smaller actually. What colour should she be? She's an interesting one. She was quite popular on the poll, I noticed. So maybe you guys have a vision for her. Because if she really was antique, she'd be gold. I think she should have a gold metal bit maybe, or it maybe, I don't know. Should she wear glasses? I feel like something needs to stand out with her. Because I think it's a really cool idea to make them very stand out from each other. And I think Meryl, if she wears a pink bikini, that will definitely make her stand out. Dinner? Well, I hope it's super yummy. Tarnished gold. Oh, that's actually a good one. See, what would I do without you guys? I wouldn't think of this. Chili dog. What are chili dogs? Are they hot dogs? I hope the hot dogs are not real dogs. We don't eat doggo. Never. So yeah, guys, if anybody like has a good idea for a granny barrel, any good features that she could have, feel free to suggest some. I'm thinking, what should she be colour wise? Maybe a brown. Maybe a darker brown, like, because Carol, what colour would you say Carol was? She's not exactly brown, is she? Not proper brown, anyway. She's more of a... She is brown, but I'm gonna Google barrels now. Give me a moment, because I'm gonna look at some barrel references. I'll get Google images up in a sec. Here we go. Here's some barrel references. So Carol is more... Yeah, I'm thinking maybe should she be more of a brown like that? I know. It's the first thought that's coming to my head for her colour anyway. Thank you, Poe, for the follow. Welcome. Hot dogs with chilli on them and shredded cheese. Oh, really? Hot dogs are a healthy option? Are they? They're never as tasty, I'm sure they are. Oh, look at those barrels. Right, so say brown. Glasses. Somebody did mention glasses yesterday when we were talking about the grandma. So, but feel free to challenge that idea if anybody's got anything better. And then we've got Woody and we've also got Hank. So Hank's pretty straightforward. He's got a hole in him and a broken plank, so we already know that. And I suppose in colour he could be like this kind of barrel. Maybe like a really kind of dull colour. That's really like old and not a knocked about. That could suit Hank probably. They're not healthy. I've been hungry for like an hour. How am I still alive? I need the tingle pie as well, and I'm holding it in because I don't want to go on BRB. This is what streaming does to you. Grey. Grey and dirty. I don't really think we need to know much more than that unless anybody has any ideas, because we've already got quite a detailed visual description for him there. Woody. Yeah, what could Woody look like? He's a box. He's a cardboard box. We know that. But he's the funny one. I suppose he's the joker of the group. But he's insecure. Because this is going to be the last chance, everybody, for giving feedback on their visual appearance, because we're moving on to something else tomorrow. We're going to work on the first boss, battle mechanics. And I'm going to be working on their assets off stream. So this might be the last final chance to have a say. But there might be a stream next week when we do assets. I haven't decided yet. It all depends how I feel. So there might be a chance we do it, but I'm not going to promise it. I'll deliver them to Rose in a few weeks. Maybe. What if I don't like them though? I like Mao's food, to be honest, as long as it's yummy. And he used to be friends with a hobo that lived in him for a while. Oh, really? That's cute. But wasn't he in the war as well? Oh, my God. Well, I suppose Hank's lived a long life, hasn't he? He's probably done a lot of things. Then Chat and I will eat them all. Yeah, you can have them. It's fine. I'll just have cookies and chocolate. That'll be good for me. You guys can have the chili dogs. I'm actually, because that's more about backstory. About Hank, I'm going to put that in my notepad file. About the hobo. Should he have a moustache? I've just thought of that. We haven't got a barrel that has a moustache. Maybe that should be Hank. Who else would have one, really? What should his moustache look like? What colour should it be? What sort of style? If you've got a character in mind, like from a fictional thing, like an existing one, and that you feel like he could look like, feel free to give a reference image. I know that Carol the Barrel had a reference image that we worked from, but no worries if we don't have a reference image. I'll do my best to think of something cool that looks good. Yeah, and we just got Woody then. And honestly, I'm drawing a blank for Woody. Other than him being a cardboard box, nothing sticks out to me. Should he be cute? I feel like the cute goes to the son. So we'll save the cute for him. I don't want Woody to be generic though. I want him to have something about him that's stands out and is cool. But at the moment, I'm afraid Woody's our generic character that doesn't have anything about him other than it being a cardboard box. Rah. I need food. I get my food soon. But I am going to have to go and BRB because I'm honestly holding in that tinkle and it's not good. You have to go to the toilet when you're a streamer. It's not healthy. I'll be back in a minute. Be back soon. have returned. And thank you for joining the Discord, RD, Comic Saga, and Grey Warden. Okay, I'm going to just thank the peeps that have joined. Yay to new peoples. Thank you for the welcome back. Oh, my hair is tucked under my earphones. Right, where were we? Yeah, we've kind of got an idea then for these guys. Of course, guys, if you have any ideas, feel free to say. I want everybody to know that this is really our final chance of getting a good say on what they're going to look like, because although we might work on them next week, there's also a chance I might do them off stream, and they might be done the next time we talk about these guys. I might get the assets finished, because we have a lot of other things to work on too. We got the fruit guy battle, the fruit gang, should I say, and that's exciting. We can talk about some mechanics for that tomorrow. I'm super hyped. We still need to decide about Carol's son. I know that we were discussing it and I stopped it, and that's just because there was a lot of stuff mentioned in chat that I haven't read, and I want to be able to read it all. And it feels a bit early to make a final decision with him, because he's going to be such a big part of the plot. Carol's son is, and we don't want to make a design decision with him that might potentially be a mistake and make us and ruin the plot for us. So we'll give that one a bit more thought. But at some point we'll definitely try and discuss it or put some polls up about him. Right, so Woody, we don't know what Woody looks like, so he's the only one we don't really know. So I'll just think of something myself, have a think about that, but feel free to suggest an idea. We've already decided that Hank's going to be the one with the moustache, so it feels perfect to have at least one with a moustache. Maybe a different kind of moustache to Elite's character though. He can have a nice old man moustache. Yeah, Woody might just end up being a generic, but he's still cute. I mean, he's still a very unique character, even if it doesn't really have anything special about his appearance. He might just be a box with some eyes and a mouth. It might just be that, but we'll see. And yeah, we were thinking of the name for the son, and we'll probably do that next week. We'll probably flesh him out a bit more next week, because we'll want to finalise that and get it decided. Okay, so everybody, what's the time? I might finish a bit earlier today. A bit earlier than usual. Sometimes I will, sometimes I won't. Sometimes I might even go on after 6 if there's a lot of stuff to do and discuss. It feels like a good time to perhaps end the stream now. So shall we go say hi to somebody who would be up for that? Right, I'm gonna get the Twitch up and have a look who's on. Thank you for streaming. Thank you very much for being here, Nethel. See you next time. Yeah, take care. Right, so we'll go say hello to Elite. Let's go say hi to Elite today. I'll see you tomorrow, and we will do some, we'll have some battle discussion for our first boss tomorrow. So we'll be switching things up and doing something a bit different. And I'll return to the battles next week, or I might do some off stream too. I'll keep you all updated. I'll let you know how it's going. Take care.